Hey there, it's Drutter. It's January the 4th, 2014. And what you're looking at here is 1 ounce of silver, which is currently worth about $20. And, well, I don't know how much exactly that weighs, but an amount of cannabis that is worth about $20. One is a precious metal that has to be mined out of the ground, then refined, and then minted into a coin form. And the other one is a weed that grows anywhere in the world with absolutely no effort required whatsoever. The one on the left weighs exactly 1 troy ounce. The one on the right weighs a couple of grams. Both have been used by humans since the beginning of recorded time. Both are currently hated by the powers that be. The price of both is manipulated, one down, one up. Both are medicine, and in both cases you really shouldn't be without at least a few ounces in your possession. But what I really want to focus on for my 420th video is this one here on the right. We have a situation now here in 2014 where millions of people are now legally allowed by their government to own and use this plant, at least in a limited fashion. We also have a situation where people in the same parts of the world and in other parts of the world are in jail for doing so. In jail. People losing their lives, people losing their families, their jobs, everything that they've worked hard for in their lives. Imagine if that was you for a plant. The drug war is an absolute failure. It is ruining lives, it's costing us all huge amounts of resources, and it's totally ineffective. All it does is drive up the price and create gangs and violence. Is legalization the answer? No, legalization is not the answer. Legalization is code for control. It's just the government taking control of something. You know, they've already legalized other things. There's so many things that are legalized, we just don't call it that anymore. Like alcohol. It was legalized in the 1930s and 40s after prohibition. And how's that working out for us? Are we more free now that it's been legalized? No. Legalization just provides taxes for the government. It just makes the government bigger, more powerful, and gives them more control over us. We don't want legalization, we want freedom. We don't need to legalize cauliflower and broccoli. Why don't we legalize those too? Those don't need to be legalized because they were never illegalized. Just as cannabis should never have been illegalized. Anyone who supports the way things are, the status quo, and the drug war has got to go. I'm tired of people's lives being ruined on this war that does not work and never will work. I'm tired of people spending their lives in prison for something they did that didn't hurt anyone. And I'm tired of anyone who supports it. The war on drugs is over. The propaganda's not working as well anymore. People are starting to figure things out. The internet is changing the game. People are tired of this. It's not working. It never has worked, and it never will work. We're just locking up people and destroying lives at the cost of everyone's resources for absolutely no useful benefit. No one is being harmed by this plant. Not the people who use it, not the people who buy it, not the people who sell it, not the people who grow it. I'm not going to stand for prohibition anymore. I want freedom for this plant, and I want it now, and I'm going to treat this plant as though it is free. There is no legitimate prohibition against cannabis in Canada. I say, free all of the drug offenders in prison, every single last one of them. They're not offenders, they're not criminals. You've made something that's not a crime into a crime so you can call people criminals and lock them up. They did nothing to harm anyone, and I want them released from jail now. Free Mark Emery, a Canadian man who was doing nothing wrong in Canada but selling seeds, something that wasn't even illegal here while he was doing it, and then he was extradited to the USA for political reasons and has spent the better part of 5 years now in jail in the U.S. Free Mark Emery, free all of the so-called drug offenders in prison, and free this incredible, healing, peaceful plant. I say, end prohibition, end legalization. All we really need is liberty.